I'm much better now that the ladies are back from space.
What were they up there, 10 minutes? Well, yeah, and I also think it's fun to see somebody who has no self-awareness.
Yeah.
They're always the most fun.
She essentially took a roller coaster ride.
Well, it was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru now.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, no one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous.
Only a few minutes removed from this.
I feel super connected to love.
Goodness. I will never be the same.
That's the other thing. There has been female astronauts.
Let's not minimize this.
Their message for women was take up space. You guys are taking up too much space already.
She was acting like she got back from Apollo 13.
It's so much money to go to space.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. What are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
Last second, they added me to space. I'm bringing this. It was in my bag, and I was like on the subway, and I got the text, and they were like, do you want to go to space? So
Katy Perry thought her space trip would make her a feminist icon, but it turned into a complete disaster, and Joe Rogan's brutal takedown sent her into a full-blown meltdown. In October 2024, Perry boarded Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket with an all-female crew, only to face a viral roasting that's threatening to end her career. From internet memes to Martha Stewart's shade, this 11-minute joyride became a cosmic catastrophe. Let's break down how Perry's galactic dream crashed and burned, and why Rogan's words hit her where it hurts.
I've had so many people reach out to me and say, because you did it, it makes me think I can do it too.
You know, it's so funny. She said she's heard from women and girls who have said to her, I didn't realize this is something I could do. You know how I know that didn't happen, Megan? Because it's not something they could do, because they're not friends with Jeff Bezos, right? Like, take up space!
But the best part? The hype was out of this world. Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez, Bezos' fiancée, were sold as trailblazers for Blue Origin's first all-female flight. Launched in October 2024, the mission was pitched as a feminist game-changer, with Perry calling it a divine feminine gift to inspire women to take up space. Media outlets hyped it as a historic leap, and Perry leaned in hard, promising a legacy-defining moment. But what sounded like a starry triumph was about to implode in spectacular fashion.
Martha Stewart, God bless Martha Stewart. She posted something online because she went up in a flight that achieved zero gravity.
I boarded a Boeing 727 aircraft called G-Force One and experienced what astronauts feel when they reach zero gravity.
The truth was far from heroic. The Blue Origin trip lasted just 11 minutes, barely grazing space in a remotely controlled capsule. No experiments, no breakthroughs, just a few minutes of floating and posing for cameras. Perry's team insisted it was a flight, not a ride, claiming critics were sexist, but the public saw it for what it was, a billionaire's publicity stunt dressed up as empowerment. The gap between the hype and reality set the stage for a disaster that Perry never saw coming.
There's nothing frivolous about what we did. Let's see how it went on board the Blue Origin spacecraft.
Flynn, I got
with her daisy.
I got you, Flynn.
And then came the unspoken slap. Then came Perry's meltdown. Stepping off the capsule, she dropped to her knees, kissed the Texas dirt, and declared the trip more life-changing than anything except childbirth. Clutching a daisy for resilience, she rambled about love, Mother Earth, and cosmic healing. I'm forever changed, she told reporters, her words dripping with rehearsed drama. Every move screamed performance, from staged camera angles to spiritual babble. The public didn't buy it. They cringed, and Perry's over-the-top display only made things worse.
There, it's dark. It's like death.
And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me.
Flowers for me. I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother Earth.
If I can do this, I was telling these guys, I might even now get my ears pierced. I've never gotten my ears pierced because that hurts.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space.
But then it got worse. Because Joe Rogan lit the fuse. On his podcast, he tore into Perry's stunt with razor-sharp precision, asking, what were her findings? Sitting with Tim Dillon, Rogan mocked her Daisy and guru-like monologues, comparing her 11-minute joyride to the grueling work of real astronauts. They risked their lives, she just floated, he said, his disbelief palpable. The segment went viral, with millions sharing clips of his roast. Rogan didn't just critique Perry, he destroyed her narrative, turning her space dream into a public humiliation.
None of the people in this capsule could actually operate anything. It was all being remotely controlled. So it was cool. They took a very, very expensive, very, very cool roller coaster ride.
That announcement, brutal. Not because it was mean, but because it was so coldly factual. It cut through all the space-themed empowerment speeches and glittery post-flight monologues. None of them were responsible for anything.
The internet piled on with savage glee. Wendy struck first, tweeting, "Can we send her back?" Perry's astronaut girly friends tagline became a meme frenzy, slapped on photos of women doing anything from shopping to yoga. Amy Schumer jabbed, joking she was added last minute with a spacesuit in her bag. Memes of Perry kissing the ground flooded X, some pasting her into war zones or sci-fi flicks. The public didn't see a pioneer, they saw a pop star in meltdown mode, and they roasted her mercilessly.
Lauren Sanchez was also reduced to tears by the experience.
6 women just did the same flight that...
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day.
Martha Stewart delivered the ultimate burn. While Perry preached about cosmic unity, Stewart posted a 2007 clip of herself floating in a zero-gravity plane. No tears, no props, just effortless cool and a lethal caption. Ex-users went wild, reposting with lines like, "Martha outdid her 17 years ago." Stewart's quiet shade made Perry's theatrical display look desperate, amplifying the disaster. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a reminder that real class doesn't need a spaceship.
In case you didn't know, Alan Shepard is famous because he was the first American to go to space in 1961. So we don't celebrate the people who do it as on a tourist trip 60 years later. We celebrate the people who were the first to do it. Gail doesn't want us to say that she took a ride, but that is in fact what she did. She took a ride on a remotely piloted craft. Anyone who denies my achievement is second.
The FAA dropped the final bomb. In a cold statement, they ruled Perry, King, and Sanchez weren't astronauts as they performed no critical tasks. The capsule was on autopilot. This wasn't a technicality, it was a gut punch. The ruling obliterated Perry's astronaut sister's narrative and branded the trip a tourist stunt. Ex-users dubbed them space divas in designer suits, and the humiliation pushed Perry's meltdown into overdrive. Her empowerment dream was officially a disaster.
And now we're supposed to celebrate her crossing new barriers for women, meaning boinking a billionaire and getting a free ticket to space for 11 minutes.
And oh, the internet. They had a field day. Comment sections exploded.
The backlash exposed a deeper flaw: fulmanism, a fake feminism that chased clout over substance. Women in STEM felt insulted, with one engineer posting, "We're fighting for funding while they're posing in space." Lauren Sanchez's claim that "we're all in this together" landed like a bad joke amid soaring grocery prices. Perry's poetic rants about healing didn't inspire, they alienated, proving the trip wasn't about women's progress, but elite ego. The disaster wasn't just personal, it was cultural.
The 11-minute space flight that was touted as some kind of divine feminine gift to humanity.
That was one small step for womankind, one giant leap backwards for mankind.
Now Perry's career is hanging by a thread. PR experts warned this flop could spell extinction, especially after her last 2 albums bombed. The space stunt was meant to rebrand her as a visionary, but it cemented her as out of touch. Rumors swirl that Bezos handpicked the crew to hype Blue Origin, with Sanchez's role raising questions. The internet's memes from zero-G influencer to Daisy Dalai Lama have redefined Perry's legacy. Rogan's destruction and the public's scorn have left her spiraling. Can she pull out of this nosedive?
I thought it was condescending. It was belittling to women.
Lots of other people in the media were embarrassing themselves during this ordeal. Oprah Winfrey actually wept as she watched the all-female team launch into space.
Katy Perry's space trip was meant to be her comeback, a shining moment of feminist glory. Instead, it became a disaster of her own making, torched by Joe Rogan's brutal roast, Martha Stewart's shade, and a merciless internet. The FAA's ruling and fulmanism backlash sealed its fate as a career-crushing flop. So, can Perry rise from this meltdown, or has her star finally crashed? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's see who...
Gayle King, upset, had a few things that she needed to explain to those of us who don't understand what a hero she is.